Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. I want to say, Call Halayim Lai Hawa, Bahashim, Habashai, Bahashim, Kakodash. Everyone's to our apostles, taught us this truth. He says, salutation to the elect. All right, and so a real man, real husband, he takes away malign, malevolent, maleficent spirits off the women, off his women, off his brides. Darryl demon, Pookie. He put evil spirits on the women. So through the spirit, this whole situation with the little mermaid girl and the Darryl demon. We seen this coming, from a mile away. Because you see, the scripture tell you a prudent man foreseeth the evil hide himself, but the simple pass on a bunch. So you foresee the evil, man. Like with this whole thing with this guy Travis Hunter, and the Leanna girl, they all it's all going to end badly, because these are just modern day relationships, that can't last, because all built upon quicksand and it's not based upon the scriptures. See, because when you deal with a man, a true husband, especially a man of understanding, that man put righteous vibrations on you, man. That man put the name of the Lord in you, the Lord, the Lord's vibration on you, man. But when you deal with a demon, he gonna put 8 other spirits on you. He gonna put 666 spirits on you, man. And that's what we're finding out. We're finding out that through this captivity, through this life here, the Lord had put us in bondage. We're finding out the type of niggas that the type of demons, 2/3 that are running around the earth. They're polluting the environment for the rest of the people, for the good men, All right, they're polluting these women. They're the reason why the women ain't right through the spirit, because they all dealt with pookies and demons, So this whole little situation with the little mermaid girl just shows you that, hey, this is what happens when you give yourself over to a demon. You see what I'm saying? But in the world, they didn't taught you that that the men that like your fathers in them in the past, they're controlling and they're abusive. But see, the woman needs to be up under the control of a man of understanding, a man of wisdom. That's why I say Isaiah 4:1. Okay, 7 women take hold of one man and say, let's be called by their name, that you may take away our reproach. Because a demon can't take away your reproach, even though he had money. One of these demons, one of these demon soul type dudes, they got money and they can pay for this and that, but money don't make a woman, really. At the end of the day, she needs guidance, man. And see, just show you that money don't make you. Because this chick was still suicidal, the Little Mermaid girl. They put out all the texts and all that. They said she was gonna kill herself, blah blah blah, this and that. She's bugged the hell out, because first of all, her father was not a real father. All right, even though they might have raised them to be Christian girls or whatever the hell, he might have raised them according to this world, but he didn't look out for his daughter in the most important department, which is the husband, man. You're supposed to stop your daughter from dealing with these type of dudes, man. You're supposed to put a stop to that. You're supposed to have control over that, but you're in America. You're in the white man's world. So once she hits 18 or whatever, but even then, still, once she hits 18, she's still able to do whatever she wants, right? But see, you're supposed to train her up from the youth. All right, you're supposed to watch over her, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter. But that's not practice over here. So what happens? These women, they go and they deal with the worst kind of demons, and the proof is in the pudding. They end up crying, heartbroken, messed up, and destroyed. Just like the movie with Taraji P. Was called Straw. Yeah, the Straw movie, man. She's a single mother. By way of a pookie. More than likely by way of a pookie. One of them little fun guys. One of them little happy-go-lucky niggas that be at the party. Making everybody laugh and all this other shit. Little goofy class clowns that these women fall in love with. Or whatever. These little damn popular kids. But see, this is why it says that your father's supposed to choose, because hey, you choose wrong. You don't have experience. All right, Scripture tell you, Job 39:17. All right, to her was not imparted understanding. The Lord did not impart unto her understanding. All right, so you have to be given to a man of understanding. We stress this over and over because that's the most important decision a woman make in her life. What kind of man she's gonna deal with? That's the most important. That's the most important component of the woman's life, because that's going to determine everything. Her kids. That's going to determine, her sexual life. That's going to determine everything about her. Who a woman deals with. That's the most important thing in her life, not her fucking career or all that other shit. The most important thing in a woman's life is the man. All right, pursuant to 1 Corinthians the 11th chapter. That's the most important thing. Who is she gets laying down with? Who is she having relations with, man? And her husband. She has to have, the scriptures tell you, the woman, the wife of one husband. All right. To avoid fornication, scripture says, let every man have his own wife, or have his own women, to avoid the wickedness that you see in this place, bro. Okay. All right. So shalom, yo. Should I break it down? All right. Hey, so the woman must be given into the hands of a man of understanding. All right, for her own safety. Okay, Genesis 3:16, man. Okay, it says. Oh, jump to the article. Oh, Genesis 3:16. It says, unto the woman he said, I'll greatly multiply thy sorrow in conception. Yeah, when you have a child, it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. You have to take an epidural. You have to take you have to do a C-section. Whatever. You'll have to get a surrogate. Some women don't want to mess with their bodies or too much pain. And that's multiplying that greatly that sorrow. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be towards thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Yeah, they said this girl had postpartum depression. The Little Mermaid girl. Hey, well, that's called in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. That's sorrow. See, you bring forth a child, but then you get postpartum depression afterwards. But you're talking about suicidal thoughts, which that's what this girl has. She's talking about suicidal thoughts, and I hate myself, but this is a rich girl. This is a girl that's rich. This is a girl that has 10 million plus followers on IG. Anywhere they go, they know her. Oh, you know what I'm saying? The little young girls want to be her. But yet still she's depressed. Why is that? Because she's dealing with a serpent, man. She's dealing with a demon, a pure demon. All right. When a woman is in her youthful state, she's a little baby, or she's coming up after she's coming up, 13, 12, 11, whatever. She's starting coming in her womanhood. Then she hits a certain age, 18. Now they say she's a woman, right? But see, you gotta start way before 18, man. You gotta put her in the hands of a righteous man, because she's already having sexual relations at 15, 14 with random dudes. So this is what tarnishes the woman. You see the spirit on her before she gets with the men, and afterward the spirit is totally different, man. So you see the spirit, the innocence that's on a young girl, man, that has not been touched. Nobody has molested her. Nobody has put spirits in her, and that's a beautiful thing to see. But in this society, man, you got all kind of demons that's polluting these women because of the wicked husband that she deals with, or husbands, women, men, sugar daddies and pimps and ex-boyfriends and shit, just passing through like a damn just passing through like a stopping gas, man, like a brothel, you know, or whatever. That's the modern day female, man. Nigga just passing through her like a damn like a drive-through, just like a drive-through. You just get your order, pay and go. That's the club. That's the new dating system that they got in play. So-called white man created the club. Now motherfuckers ain't going to the club because the men are, they're tired of this, getting used like a pocket everywhere they go. So I mean, all the little dating options are drying up through the spirit. For these women now, they looking desperate. You see, because the marriage thing was not upheld, man, in this society. I tell you in Hebrews 13 and the 4th verse, it says, marriage honorable and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers the Most High would judge. So the bed is undefiled, man. When you married, when you wear a man, especially a man of understanding, so you get with an Edomite, you bringing forth Rosemary's Baby. You're getting bugged out. You got spirits on you, because you got the white man spirit in you. You start looking at the world differently. You start praying to the other gods, Jesus, and he got you eating abominable foods. All right, he might have you living in a nice palatial estate, but see, you'll be destroyed. And this is the prime example. This thing with DDG and the little mermaid girl. Even though he's not an Edomite, well, she is an Edomite in the spirit, but he'd go back to the tribes somehow, some way, probably. But all jokes aside, man, the dude is he's a Jake, but he's a demon though. A little pookie. All right, that put your business out there. But see, we've been said this was gonna happen. This was bound to happen, man. All right, the nigga gonna break your heart. He gonna get you. He gonna have you suicidal. Cause see, you're in love. You're deeply in love. You're drunk in love, man. And that nigga put spirits on you, man. He'll put spirits on you. These type of dudes, they put demonic spirits on these women. All right, they put but when these women deal with a righteous man, hey, them demons are exorcised. Scripture speak about cleansing the leper, healing the sick, cast out demons, cast out spirits. See, when you deal with a woman, you cast out spirits off of her, man. When you brothers might start dealing with a sister, and the sister totally changed because of you. All right, that's how it goes. Scripture speak about casting out devils. You cast out devils by that's one form. When you actually deal with the woman and you teach her the ways of the Lord. That's why it says and she submit under your rulership. That's why it says if a woman learn anything, let her ask her husband at home. Why? Because she's supposed to have a believer, a man, Lord willing, that the man is a believer and a spiritual man at that, because that's gonna do a great service for her. That's gonna take away evil spirits off of her. But everyone doesn't have that luxury. But at the end of the day, that's how it's gonna be in the times that coming in the kingdom. That's how it's gonna be, anyways. But see, under the curse, it's a different story. You get DDGs and you get Darryls and you get heartbreak and you get goddamn your text leaked out there in the public. You get your dirty laundry aired out there. You know what I'm saying? You get treated like a whore and a slut. Well, that's the treatment that they like. This is what they like. They have to get treated like shit in order to understand and appreciate a good man. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, hey, that's the road that most of them choose. So it said Matthew chapter 12 and verse let's see here, 12 and to cast out, heal the sick. Yeah, yeah. Matthew 16 and 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe me. It said, in my name they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Yeah, so in the Lord's name, you cast out devils, and you lay hands on a man or a woman, and they'll be recovered on the sick. If you start dealing with a woman, one of you righteous brothers, one of you men of the Lord, all right, who the Lord is with, and you start dealing with her, you'll take off demons off of her. You'll take spirits off of her, man. She'll have a hedge of protection. As I tell you in Isaiah 32 and 2, a man be a covering from the wind and a protection, man. Isaiah 32 and 2, a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind and a cover from the tempest, as a river of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a rock in a weary land. Yeah, you're in a weary land right now in America. Yeah, and it's getting ready to become a desolate wilderness and a dry place. But it says a man shall be a hiding place from that wind, from the storm, the nuclear wind. All right, from all the demons that's out there. You see, and see, that's what they take for granted. But see, that's gonna be to their own detriment, man. These women out here, man. All right, they have forsaken their husbands. They have become like Lot's wife. Hey, that's on there. Hey, shout out to Brother Enos. Yeah, but some brother sister as well, man. Like I said before. Hey, so yeah, that's the thing. That's one of the major problems in the world. That's one of the major problems in Jake community. All right, that's one of the major problems. The fact that you got nothing but evil men walking on every side. The vilest men are exalted, man. The wicked walk on every side. Psalms 12:7, one of my favorite scriptures. Oh, the 8th verse. All right, I always bring it up because, hey, that's the time. That's the time you're living in. A wicked men walking on every side when the vilest men are exalted. That's the wickedest men that these women deal with, and that causes them to be flooded with demons. They keep jumping to pookie, and therefore, what happens? You become destroyed like Halle Berry and Halle Bailey, both of them. All these women become destroyed because they're dealing with these little pookies, man. They're dealing with these serpents and these foul-spirited dudes, man. That's why they look the way they look. They talk the way they talk. They dress the way they dressed outside. They look unseemly, dishonorable. They got you dealing with threesomes and orgies and shit. They're defiling you, man. They're telling you to do weird stuff in the bed. They got you do. You know what I'm saying, bro? That putting vibrations on you. Then they end up leaving your ass after a couple months or whatever, a couple weeks, whatever. But you just there because of the clout and attention, or you feeling some type of way. But see, that's the problem. That's why your husband is supposed to be chosen by your father, man. You're supposed to be giving it away to a man of understanding, so you don't end up like Halle Bailey or Halle Berry or Whitney Houston, man. Your ass don't end up like Whitney Houston, all messed up and destroyed. Okay, pretty little thing like Whitney Houston, man. The diva of the 90s. The little star girl next to Mariah Carey and them, But now, but end up in disgrace, She end up in disgrace. All right. Dealing with a pookie like, all these pookies. So it says 1 Peter 3:7, likewise, your husband dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs of life together, that your prayers be not hindered. Yeah, yeah. So the script tell you, he that's evil to himself, to whom will he do good? You know, you got you niggas, you demons, you're evil to yourselves, man. So you can't do good to your woman. You know, you can't do good to the weaker vessel. You know, you're a bunch of demons, man. All right, you start putting hands on them, you start beating their asses and shit. You know what I'm saying? You start niggas can't handle your emotions. You know, you start becoming abusive and shit. That's what this dude that was alleged. You know, whatever, whether if it's true or not. Which they become aggressive too. But hey, you see that that's the thing. You got to put her in her place, man. You got to check her behavior. You know what I'm saying? These niggas, they don't do none of that shit. You know, they just run around throwing money around and think that's gonna solve the problem. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem with these people, man. That's why it says the love of money is the root of all evil. You see, these motherfuckers are living a great lives. They're riding around in expensive vehicles, fucking buying Fendi every day and Gucci and Louis V, you know, and taking the most expensive trips. But they're still miserable, man. Why is this little mermaid girl miserable? Because she with a nigga, a demon. You know, she's with a foul spirited nigga, man. All right. And that's the majority of these women out here, man. They're just with in wrong hands. They're in the hands of wrong type of niggas, man. Wrong type of dudes. You know. So Sirach 42 and verse 9 says, the father watches for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her take away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled. And God with child in her father's house, and having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself. Without a husband, you misbehave yourself, man. Okay, you gotta be kept in straightly. You're gonna want all kind of men fill up your void. See what I'm saying? You're supposed to be filled up. A woman is supposed to be filled up, just like us with the Holy Spirit. If we don't got the spirit of the Lord in us, we get filled with all kind of other spirits. If you ain't got the spirit and vibration of your husband on you, you're gonna be filled with other nigga spirits. You're gonna start dealing with women. You're gonna start being a weirdo, man, a degenerate. Cause you're in the flesh and your shit start itching you. So you start calling niggas up at 2 a.m, 1 o'clock. You go into the club, getting drunk every fucking night. You know what I'm saying, bro? Looking for attention. You start holding yourself on a pole because you ain't got no husband. And you don't submit yourself to the husband, man. You don't submit yourself to your husband, so you end up all messed up, man. Because you don't submit yourself. You can't. You're going against your programming. See, a woman created to serve, she's not happy unless she's really serving. She's not gonna be fulfilled unless she's in love and serving her master. That's her husband, man. She's supposed to serve her master, man. But no, she's running around doing all kind of bullshit, and that's not fulfilling for her. So eventually, it causes her to bug out, like the movie Straw. You know, she fucking lost her mind, bugged out because the husband wasn't there, the kid died, so she had a mental breakdown, man. You know, went to the point where she was hallucinating, seeing shit that wasn't there. You know, held the bank hostage, whatever, you know, by accident. But it was all a movie, but that's the modern day female, man. That's the modern day that's the Eve. But that's all the downfall from you going and doing what you did in the garden, you know, with that serpent, with that white man, you know, which is adultery. All right. But anyways, so it says, unless she should be guiding child with child in her father's house, that's a teen mom, all right, which you got a lot of teen moms in this society because the father's not there. That's a curse. All right. That's a curse. Lest she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, lest she should be barren. How she become barren? Too many rods up in there, man. She becomes barren because she got too many. Her birth canal start getting destroyed. She start catching STDs because she ain't got a husband. The importance of having a husband. How you lose your birthing ability by being a slut, a whore. The Lord sent a curse on you, or you end up having too much miscarriages or abortions. You know, the Lord will close up your womb. You know, 11 verse. It said, "Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she should make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies, and a byword in the city, a reproach amongst the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude." Yeah, the other nations, they look at your women, your little Latin tribe women and all that, and they just laughing. Okay, they're like, look, this is easy, this is cheap entertainment for us. They're just laughing. They're laughing. They know they go down there in Magic City or wherever, and you throw them a couple bucks, and they're gonna shake that thing for you. No, whatever, they're gonna do all kind of freaky shit for you. Yeah. Other nation women are like that too. But we're supposed to be the greatest nation. You know, we're supposed to be a special people unto himself. You're not supposed to be like them, like the white woman. You're supposed to be like her. She's the biggest freak, and Jake is up there competing with her, man. She's the biggest freak, or the white woman. She's the biggest nasty dominatrix type bitch. But here you go. Here's Jake. They gotta sell it to live. But a lot of them, they just don't want to get a husband. They don't want to have a family. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to make themselves a mother. They don't want to be a mother. A lot of you bitches don't want to be a mother. You don't want to be a mother, man. What's wrong with being a mother? What's wrong with being a mother? That's lame. That's not sexy. Cause you want niggas to gawk on you till you're 57, 80 years old. At a certain point, you gotta hang it up. You gotta hang that shit up. You're trying to be the it girl to the end of time. Everybody has their phases in life. You can't always be the fucking it girl, man. You know what I mean, bro? You gotta do what the Lord told you to do, man. That's to serve the husband and to be a wife. I saw my mother serve my father for many moons, man, to this day. And she lived a fulfilled life. No demons on her, no spirits on her, no goddamn. She never thought about suicide. And she was never rich. She was never super rich. But I never saw her fucking depressed any time in her life. Never. I never saw her depressed. Never in her life would I see my mom depressed. I never saw my dad depressed. I mean, I never saw them looking all fucked up. I never saw them living in a mansion, but I never saw them messed up. But you niggas are living in mansions. You riding around in Maybachs and shit. You got all kind of amenities, and you niggas are talking about suicide. I never talked about suicide in my fucking life. I never did. Neither did my mother. Well, she was married to a righteous man. Okay, now he might not have been the truth, but he was a righteous man in the spirit. He was a good husband, a father. A loyal, hard worker. You see what I'm saying? And that was all to her betterment. And she was fulfilled all her life through the spirit. So she knew how to stick around. She knew how to be loyal. Unlike you modern day bitches. You don't know how to be loyal. You can't stick it out. Once some bullshit happens, hey, now you leaving. Something happens, might lose a job or sickness. Ain't sickness and health no more. All right. But see that's the Lord will give you favor. The Lord give you favor being a good wife. The Lord will send you an acceptable husband. But as for the wicked, and they fall into mischief. They fall in the hands of DDG Darryls and goddamn Chris Browns. You little bad girl gone wild. Bad girl, good girls gone bad. You get in the hands of sea breezes, man. That's the type of niggas you get in the hands of, and that's how you love to have it so. But anyways, keep a sure watch. Sirach 42:11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she should make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies, and a byword in the city. It says, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments come a moth, and women wickedness. All right. So if you let her go free, whoredom be multiplied on the earth. You get nothing but diseases multiplying on the earth and misery. Misery loves company. You see a bunch of old miserable cat ladies, man. Cause none of them got husbands. None of them got husbands, man. None of them are up there doing what they're supposed to do, taking care of the house, guiding the house. You know what I mean? All right. And the men are not fucking husband materials, man. They're not husband materials, and they ain't nothing but a bunch of one night standing going on, which leads to nothing but confusion, man. That leads to nothing but confusion. That leads to nothing but death, diseases, and a bunch of crying and boo-hooing and abortions. You know, an endless cycle of bastards running around the earth. You know, pregnancies nobody wants. You know, oh shit, I'm pregnant one day. You know, no planning, no family. The kids raised up by grandmothers and shit. The kids are getting raised up by aunties and you know they don't even get to see their fathers and mothers like that. Cause this is Jake for you, man. Uncles be the fucking same age. You know, you be the same age as your fucking uncle. Why? Because everybody just there's no order, man. You be the same age as your fucking auntie. You know, like you know that's not a common thing amongst the elites of Esau, man. Cause they living in they're not living under the curse, man. They're not living under the curse. All right. So it all goes back to Genesis 3:16, man. Your desire shall be towards thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. He's gonna rule over you for your own good, man. So you don't end up like Halle Bailey, man. You know. So you don't end up crying, talking about suicide, like Kaylani, man. You know. I remember Kaylani back in the day, the little Kaylani chick was now she's like a Mo or something, you know. But she had been on the deathbed because of the PND thing. You know, she and Kyrie Irving, she was in a love triangle with Kyrie Irving and your man party next door, you know. So she thought about committing suicide. She wrote suicide notes, all kind of shit. This is what happens, man. No husbands, no marriage, no, and you in the hands of dudes that ain't right themselves, unstable souls, man. You know. So this is what happens, man. This is what happens. This is what happens. These dudes are unstable souls, man. Yeah, dudes with no understanding. Give thy daughter to the man of understanding, man. So that shall have performed a weighty matter. That's the most important thing in her life. That's the weightiest matter in her life. You as a father, you give your daughter to a man of understanding. Sirach 7:25. Marry thy daughter, so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. It says you have a daughter, show not yourself cheerful to them, but have care over their bodies. And that's part of having care over her body, man. 24 verse. Has thou daughters, have a care over their body, and show not yourself cheerful toward them. All right. Meaning you don't go and touch on her. All right. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. You have a daughter, you give her to a man of understanding, man. You know, you marry her and you give her to a man of understanding, a man of wisdom, of knowledge. You know, not a fucking Pookie, man. Not a Pookie, not a Darryl, not hey, oh my daughter, she brings some random nigga to the house. Who the hell is this guy, man? She should know better than doing some shit like that. You supposed to put the fear of the God in her ass. And you supposed to be in that girl's life. This is what happens when you niggas are too busy making shekels, man. And you ain't worried about your daughter. You exploiting your daughter. You let her go to Disney World. What the fuck you think gonna happen to her, man? She goes to Disney World, becomes a star. I don't give a fuck about her making a bunch of money. I care about her safety as a child, man. As her mental integrity, man. Look at the little girl, man. You niggas have exploited that little girl, man. The little Doug Bailey and the dude, the mama. You know, you and the rest of the family. Here it is. All you niggas are there to extend your hand when money is needed. But when the girl's going through shit, where the fuck are you niggas at, man? That's the problem with the society. All right. That going back to that Straw movie. The girl, man, she was having a mental breakdown, all that shit. Nobody helped her until it was too late. She snapped. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem with you niggas, man. With you tribes, you people. You're self-serving and you're for your own interests. And when the girl's up there dying, or when the dude's up there messed up, he got mental health issues and shit, because you niggas didn't stop it, man. You didn't stop it back when the problem was. You saw the problem. You just allowed it to continue. You know, you never helped when the time was needed. When your ass was needed, you would never dare to lend the support. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, this guy's not good for you. You know, boom, boom. You motherfuckers ain't telling you nothing. There's a bunch of yes men, and that goes for their parents too. The father's not supposed to be a fucking yes man. Okay, whatever you want to do, baby. No, it's not what you want to do. It's what the father wants you to do, man. Because your father is your lord until there's given to you another lord, which is the husband. You know, and Sarah called Abraham Lord. Why? Because hey, that was a righteous thing to do. Because that's her guide and her protection. Where there's no hedge, the protection is spoiled. The possession is spoiled. The woman is the possession. A delicate, sweet little thing, man. Pretty little thing. Where she needs protected, man. That's the old trope as the knight in shining armor. Well, that's partly true because a woman can't fend for her fucking self, man. She's not fucking Rambo in the jungle. She's not goddamn Wonder Woman in the Amazon, man. You know, she's not. She can't do that shit, man. She needs your emotional stability. That's why it says, wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of thy times. Isaiah 33:6. And the fear of the Lord is his treasure. See, you're the stable one, and she's the unstable one. That's why it says the weaker vessel. She's the one that provides the comfort. All right, you provide the stability and the knowledge, the wisdom of the Lord. You know, but that's what you niggas don't provide on this side. You niggas provide nothing but turmoil and emotional damage and shit. That's what you Darryl demons do, nigga. You produce none but more evil, foul spirits on these women, and then they turn around and destroy the rest of the community. You know what I mean? Because you niggas run around sweet dick and everything that moves, but then you don't take responsibilities, man. You know, you don't take responsibilities, and the kids grow up and they become demons like you. You see what I'm saying? Then they turn around and criticize everything when at the end of the day it starts with your ass, you know, because you're the problem. You run around sweet dick and everything, man, you know, and you don't take responsibility. Okay, see this dude right here, this dude Darryl, he should have stayed with this girl, and they should have built a little family together instead of worried about being a streamer. See now this nigga, all their careers are gonna be fucked. Hallie, they're gonna look at her like some weird bitch that's suicidal. She might lose her deals and stuff, you know, because she got with some demon, man. And that nigga, I mean, you know, whatever, he ain't shit anyways. But you know, he's just gonna use it for clout or whatever. But the point is that the girl's gonna suffer most. The girl's gonna suffer most, man. You know, she's gonna be the one that's suffering. This guy, he's gonna move on to other thoughts. You know, but she's gonna be tainted, man. By the next, the kid's gonna be tainted. You know what I'm saying? The next dude she ends up with, she gonna have trust issues and emotional damage, all kind of shit. So, hey, she avoid all that by being with one of you men of the Lord. But no, they're not gonna stoop down to that level because you don't have the status. That's why it says Psalms 110:3 that people shall be willing in the day of thy power. All right. The wicked are walking on every side, so they get with these so-called powerful dudes. Which, if they was really hypergamy, they should have shot for a better type of character than these type of niggas. You get with a trap rapper, you know. You might as well get with the white man if you're gonna do that. The white man at least might as well treat you a little bit better, you know, than that. But anyways, hey, ultimately, man, these women be given into the hands of you men of the Heavenly Father, man. That's who they really supposed to be with. So that's why it says 7 women take hold of 1 man. They're gonna come take hold of you righteous men, man. You men of the Lord, men of understanding, and the earth, okay, is gonna be given into your hands, including the women, man, including because they need to be in the hands of capable men, not fucking weirdos. All right, the script, who sang that one song on that from the 80s? No, I think it's like the Spice Girls. I need a man, not a boy. Think he can. That's you, Darryl demons, man. You niggas are none but boys that think they can, man. You see, That's why the community and the world's the way it is, because you niggas, all right? And the Lord's gonna give back them damsels into the hands of capable spiritual men that judge all things, including her, judge the situations, on the earth that could handle. See, Isaiah 4 ain't done them, but ain't just about you popping a bunch of women. It's about you ruling over them in the spirit, man. You being you're gonna cast out spirits off these people, off these women. You're gonna take away the demons off of them, man. You're gonna take away their reproach, their anxieties, all that shit, their fears. They with you, they're gonna see stability, man. You know what I mean? But when they're with these demons, they're in fear because they don't have the answers. Like the man said, they don't have the answers, man. You see? So, anyways, I'll leave it there. All right. Where the heads is, there's no where the possession is, there is no Sirach 36:22. It says, but there is no hedge, the possession is spoiled. He that give for wife, Sirach 36:24, but give possession, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. Where there's no hedge, no protection, the possession is spoiled. He'll have no wife wander up and down mourning. All right. So you make better decisions. All right. As a woman, you're supposed to be with a man of understanding, man. Sirach 7:25, has thou a daughter, give her to the man of understanding. Therefore thou shalt have performed a weighty matter, man. That's the most important thing in that woman's life. Who she is in the bed with, man. Who she giving herself away to. All right. So with that, call I'm La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. All right, Shalom, Labaquan to the elect. All right, Shalom.